As of Minecraft 1.21, there are 29 different animals / mobs that you can breed and or tame. Here's how. We'll start with all of the passive mobs, so those that are harmless to the player, then move on to the neutral mobs, which are for the most part passive unless provoked, and finally cover the couple of hostile mobs, which will want to attack you. Allays are found locked away outside of pillager outposts or even in woodland mansions, and although these guys can't exactly be tamed in the stereotypical way, you can set them free and get them to follow you. Obviously watch out for the pillagers. But you bust them open, then you give them literally any item, and they will follow you wherever you go. To breed them, you only need a single allay, and all it takes is placing down a jukebox, playing some tunes, they do a little spin, you give them an amethyst shard, and they double, which is kinda cool. Armadillos can be found in badlands or savanna biomes, and to breed them, you need spider eyes. Now, they cannot be tamed like a lot of animals on this list, so if I say nothing about taming for the rest of them, just assume they cannot be tamed. Axolotls spawn underground in lush cave biomes, specifically underwater. It's not quite taming, but you can pick them up in a water bucket, mainly used to transport them, but it's probably as close as you're going to get to taming these guys. As for breeding, you need buckets of tropical fish, specifically buckets, not the dead tropical fish like this here. These guys like them alive when they eat them. A single camel spawns inside of every desert village, so that's where you want to head if you want to find one. These big guys are already tamed when you find them, so you just need to right click, hop on top, slap a saddle on them, and you'll be able to control where they go. As for breeding them, they like to eat cactus. Cats also spawn inside of villages, not just desert ones, they spawn in all village types, unless you're looking for the black cat, and if that's the case, you'll need to head to a swamp hut, as those specifically spawn there. To tame them, you'll need either raw cod or raw salmon, make sure it's raw, not cooked. The kiddies do not like it cooked, and the simple method with this is, you have to be super slow on approach as to not scare them. You're basically letting the cat come up to you in most cases, and trying to stop it from running away. But when you get close enough, you just feed it a couple of fish, and eventually hearts will appear, and it now is yours. To breed the two cats together, they can be any variant you'd like, but once again, you just either need raw cod or salmon. Chickens spawn all over the world, so I'm sure you won't have any problem finding them, but to breed them, you can use any type of seed, although wheat seed is probably going to be the easiest to get a hold of. Cows also spawn everywhere in the overworld, and to breed them, you need wheat. Donkeys are found in either savanna, plains, or meadow biomes. And to tame these guys, very simply, you just have to keep getting bucked off by the horse continuously, until eventually, like that, hearts appear. Then you can slap a saddle on it, and you'll be able to ride it. You can speed this process up a little bit by feeding the donkey lots of sugar beforehand, and basically it just makes it a little bit more cooperative. To breed two donkeys together, you can either use golden apples or golden carrots. Frogs can be found in either swamp or mangrove swamp biomes. And to breed these two, you're going to need slime balls. Unlike other mobs in this game, a baby frog will not hatch out, instead they are off to find somewhere to lay their frog spawn. Which looks like this, which eventually will hatch into tadpoles, and the tadpoles then grow up into full-size frogs. Horses work in the same way as donkeys, so you can also find them in savanna, plains, and meadow biomes. Taming them is once again simply done by hopping on and off the horse, or more precisely, getting bucked off. You can use sugar to speed up this process and make the horse trust you a little bit more, so you get those hearts a bit quicker. Like that. Now you can slap a saddle on them, and you'll be good to go. Breeding horses can be done with golden apples or golden carrots. Mooshrooms can be found on mushroom islands, of course. And just like their non-red friends, they also use wheat to breed. Mules are one of the only mobs in this game that don't generate naturally. To get a mule, you actually have to breed a horse with a donkey, using golden carrots or apples. When you do this, eventually out will pop a baby little mule. If you want to speed up the growing process, you can feed him a bunch of sugar. Then eventually he'll grow into a full-size adult, and because you've just fed him a bunch of sugar, he will already be a bit more trusting, so you can step on him, and you should tame him pretty quickly, same as with his parents. Something that is worth mentioning about the mule is they cannot breed. There's no way to get a baby mule from two mule parents. Just like their real life counterpart, these guys are infertile. So to get one, you always need a donkey and a horse. Ocelots spawn in the jungle biome and actually work in a similar way to cats. These guys used to be the way to get cats in the game before they added stray cats. Nowadays, what you can do is get the Ocelot to trust you if he would stop running away from me. Just like with the cats, you need to be very slow on approach and use either raw cod or salmon. And if you can get him to hold still, this guy is being a bit of a troublemaker, he will get hearts like that and then trust you. Basically, that means he's not going to run away from you and be all skittish like ocelots usually are. You unfortunately can't make him sit or really do anything else, but he doesn't run away, so I guess that's something. You can breed two ocelots together, but both of the ocelots have to be trusting, otherwise they will just run away. So you need to get them to trust you first of all, and then give them some raw salmon or cod, and that will pop a little baby ocelot. Parrots can also be found in the jungle biome, and to tame these guys you once again need seeds. Any type of seed is fine, although wheat is once again probably the easiest. But if you just right click them a few times, after a while, hearts will appear. Then you can make them sit or stand, and if you go nearby them, you can get them to hop on your shoulder, which is kind of cute. There is no such thing as a baby parrot though, so if you want to get any of these parrots, you're going to have to find them in the jungle. Pigs spawn all across the overworld, so you should be able to find them pretty easily, and you can breed them using either carrots, potatoes, or beetroots. Rabbits spawn in multiple biomes, and which rabbit you get will depend on which biome you're in, but the brown rabbits here spawn in the cherry blossom, amongst many others. To breed them, you need carrots, golden carrots, or dandelions. Not sure why you'd use golden carrots when you can use regular, but the option's there if you want it. Sheep are the same as cows, they spawn just about anywhere, and to breed them, you need wheat. The skeleton horse is an undead version of the regular Minecraft horse, and it spawns during lightning strikes. There's a chance that when lightning strikes, a skeleton horse will appear, but this is actually a trap. When the player gets to a certain distance away from the horse, something kinda scary happens. It explodes into 4 additional horses, all with horsemen on top that really want to kill you. Once you eventually deal with all the horsemen on top of the skeleton horses, the horses themselves are completely harmless. You can right click to hop on top and they are already tamed. You don't have to wait for love hearts to appear, so you can put a saddle on them and ride away. To obtain a sniffer, you're first of all going to have to find yourself a sniffer egg. They are found in warm ocean ruins when brushing suspicious sand. Now, it's not a 100% chance, otherwise that would be way too easy, but eventually you will get one. Not like this here. This is an emerald, but I can promise this is how you get the sniffer egg. It just takes a little bit of time. Once you place down your sniffer egg, after a little bit of time, it will eventually hatch into a baby sniffer. Then after even more time, it'll grow up into a full-blown sniffer, this gigantic thing. Of course, if you want to get another one in order to breed them, you'll have to do the same process with the egg. But once you manage to get 2 adult sniffers and some torchflower seeds, this is what you can use to breed them. Striders are found all throughout the nether, and they are already tamed and ready to be ridden. All you need to do is pop a saddle on them, and you can hop on top. Then if you have a warped fungus on a stick, you can guide where they walk using this. You may find it attracts some other striders along the way though, because warped fungus is what you need to breed them. As you can see, if we just give this to 2 of the striders, out will pop a baby strider. Turtles are found on beach biomes, and to breed them, you need seagrass. When you give seagrass to both of the turtles, one of them will become the carrier of the eggs. And then as you can see, they will start digging for a place to lay them to hatch. Sometimes it takes them a while, but as you can see, the pregnant one has some extra pixels on the bottom. Basically, they're a little bit fatter than the other one that you gave the seagrass to. So that's how you tell which one has the eggs, if the digging wasn't obvious enough. There we go. That took quite a bit of time. I think sometimes they like to find the best spot. But as you can see here, you get 1 to 4 turtle eggs, and these will eventually hatch into baby turtles. However, zombies and drowned like to come and crush these things. So what I'd recommend doing is while you're waiting for them to hatch, maybe just put them in an enclosed area with some sort of roof on so the zombies can't actually get to them. Of course, remember about baby zombies too, so it's got to be kind of fully enclosed. Something else that is probably worth mentioning is go careful yourself, because if you step on them, you will also crunch them. So, you know, just be careful. Now for the neutral mobs. So just make sure you don't accidentally hit any of these whilst you're trying to breed or tame them. They probably won't like it. Bees spawn into the world inside of bee nests, which are located throughout many biomes in the world, and you can breed them using any type of flower. Literally any will do the job just fine. Foxes spawn into the world in taiga biomes. The type of taiga biome will depend on which type of fox you get. Basically, if you get a snowy biome, it's going to be a white fox. Dry biome, it's going to be a red fox. Now to breed them, we need either sweet berries or glow berries. And this is a tricky process. It's probably going to be easier if you can leash them and trap them in a hole and do the whole thing this way, because they are quite jittery. But occasionally, you can catch them sleeping like this, although it's pretty rare to get two together. But if you're able to do this or trap them in a hole, then you can give them either a sweet berry or a glow berry, and they will produce a kit, a little fox cub right here. Now the adults still don't really trust the player, despite giving them lovely berries and a beautiful little cub. But this kit here does trust the player, at least within reason. Whilst he's growing up, he's still going to be a little jumpy and might run away whilst his parents do. But as he grows up and once he reaches full growth, he will fully trust the player and not run away. Obviously, the same goes for the rest of the trusting mobs. You can't really make him sit or do anything. He just isn't scared of you anymore. So it's up to you whether it's worth it or not. Goats are found in the mountain biome, so specifically any of the 3 peaks. And to breed them, you need wheat. Llamas spawn in any of the windswept biomes or a savanna biome. And to tame them, just like the horses, you can either speed the process up using wheat or hay bales, or you can just get on and off until hearts appear like that. Then you can put carpet on if you would like, but if not, at this point you can breed them. So you just grab a hay bale, feed it to both of them, and they will make a little baby llama. Pandas spawn in jungle biomes, though are slightly more common in bamboo jungles to be specific. And to breed them, very simply, you just need bamboo. Though there is a slight catch with these guys. Obviously, you'll have no problem if you're breeding them in a bamboo jungle. Look at this cute little thing. But if you take them elsewhere and try to breed them, they may not, and that is because you have to have these bamboo stalks within a 5-block radius of them. So if you take them elsewhere, just make sure you take some bamboo with you, otherwise they won't want to breed. Wolves now spawn all over the world in a bunch of different biomes depending on the variant. The pale wolf that we all know and love spawns in the taiga biome, the ashen wolf in the snowy taiga, the black wolf in the old growth pine taiga, the chestnut wolf in the old growth spruce taiga, the rusty wolf in the sparse jungle, the snowy wolf in the grove, the spotted wolf in the savanna plateau, the striped wolf in the wooded badlands, and the woods wolf in the forest. Taming a wolf works the same as it always has done, and that is using bones. You just want to find one, right click on it until you see hearts appear, then you can make him sit, change the color of its collar, and even get it to follow you. To breed a wolf, or now specifically a dog, because you will have to tame them first of all, you can use any type of meat. Literally any. It can be cooked, uncooked, or even something that will usually affect the player, like raw chicken or rotten flesh. They love it all. Of course, you need to make sure they're not sitting whilst you do this, otherwise they won't breed, so make sure they're stood up and ready to go. Lastly, we have 2 hostile mobs to mention. Hoglin spawn inside of the Nether, specifically in the Crimson Forest and some of the Bastion remnants. Now to breed them, we need Crimson Fungus. However, in the process, if you're in survival, not creative like I am here, they will be trying to kill you, regardless of whether you hold this or not. So it's probably going to be best if you can try and trap them somehow if you want to breed a lot. For whatever reason, I'm not going to question it. But if you want to do this sort of in the wild, you might just have to quickly run round and do it before they kill you. Again, I have no idea why you'd want to breed up Hoglins, maybe for the achievement, but if you do, just be careful. The Pillager is the final mob that you can kind of tame in Minecraft. Not exactly, at least not in the same way as the others, so we'll count it as a bit of a bonus. So usually in survival mode, these guys would want to kill me real bad. In fact, I think they kind of do in creative mode anyway. But there's a way you can make these guys completely harmless. And it all comes down to what they're holding right there. So what we need to do is trap a pillager. Obviously you can find them here at the pillager outpost or on the patrols that go around your world. But once you manage to get your hands on one and trap it, you want to do it something like this. Basically, a hole for the pillager and a hole for yourself with a slab blocking you. So if we just hop in here to the little contraption that we've made, you can see the pillager has contact with us. And if we just go into survival mode, he is going to try and shoot us. But of course, because the slab is in the way, he can't actually land any shots. So the theory is, I let him do this for a long enough time, his crossbow just breaks altogether. After a little while of waiting, about 20 minutes in this case, yes it does take a while so you're gonna have to be patient, but our pillager's crossbow breaks and now he is very friendly and doesn't want to kill me at all. He kind of just stands there doing nothing, he can't harm me in the slightest, so I would say that is officially tamed. So those are all of the mobs that you can breed or tame in some way or another in Minecraft. Of course, there are lots of other mobs that I haven't mentioned, such as the rest of the hostile bunch, like creepers, zombies, skeletons, etc. But there are some other animal mobs that unfortunately cannot be bred nor tamed. Bats, dolphins, fish, polar bears, tadpoles, squids, and glow squids too. All of these you can't really do much with, sadly. But that should, for now, cover all bases. Of course, as the game continues to update, there will be other mobs added to the game that won't be in this video. Just bear that in mind before you comment telling me I've forgotten a newer mob. But thank you so much for watching, I hope this video has helped you out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.